Yeah, you know what time it is. You want me to square away now? You want to come? All right, that's all good. Might need a refill. Well, actually, just give me back the 10. I don't even need the 50. And I'm gonna go over there. What up, people? The True Bar is closed. Just had a conversation about why it is closed. And they told me what I could do about it. What up? Thanks, man. I'll see you in a bit. Alright, let's do coffee cam. Dun, 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 dun. I might have to snag some napkins. Where the napkins at? So I could be a little messy like that. Uh-oh. I'm gonna scan that whole napkin. Alright. Back to coffee cam. Dun, 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 dun. How you doing today? She's always happy. Alright. I can go in there because they're cool. Got the whole joint to ourselves. Closed for a private event. Yeah, Bror Fredrik. I'll tell you what they said. Let's see, which side is louder? I think I'm gonna do this side. I might have to go get my own refill if I want one. That's kind of beat. Whoa, messy activities. Someone made a freaking mess over here. Yikes. Alright. Let me get settled in. Alright. So the True Bar has been closed like 2 or 3 weeks already. They said they're having staffing problems. They said if we opened it, people would come. But we're having issues keeping bartenders and such. So I hope some of my buddies that we've all come to know and love. Let's get the symmetricals going. I'm guessing right there. Let's see how that works. Nope. I hope they're not gone. It's at the sign of the times. All right, I'm gonna fire up my chat. Yeah, right. They're out on a picket line right now. This place is independent. You know what they told me to do? They said, hey, Bror Fredrik, go on our website and go to find the corporate email and send them an email and say, open the place up. I was like, hey, I'll definitely do it. I'm not gonna be a dick about it, but I will do it because this is like my favorite spot. Hold on, I gotta fire this thing up. Simon, I like theirs better. Let me see. What phony email address will I give them? What phony name will I give them? Country, we'll go United States. Zip code 90210. That's Beverly Hills. Let's see. I was born on Christmas Day. They make it they get all this information. Household income. They give you better internet. Alright, I was born in, let's see, I'll be a millennial. What will I be? Okay, I was born in 1999. Household income, 200,000 to $1 million. And they give you better internet when you tell them you make $1 million bucks. Go figure. And I'm gonna use that as my thing. Now, I just checked. Alright. Let me get the Wi-Fi access. Oh, that's pretty good. I almost nailed it. A little more this way. Alright, we are connected. A bonk. Oh, advertisements. Friggin' yikes. I can't control my own advertisements anymore. Alright, firing up the live chat activities. I think all almost symmetricals. We got 64 people on. Nope, that's on the top messages. All messages says we have 79 people on. All right, cool. Yeah, I cannot choose cyborg, or man from the future, or most interesting man in the world. Is that inappropriate these days? Oh, that's the jam. All right. Wow, listen to that kid freaking screech. That kid is screeching like a freak. So it is AMA. Which one do I want to save to eat? All right, let's ritualize these. That kid is screeching like a freaking screech owl. Like a howler monkey. Holy cow. I think this is like lukewarm. But this coffee gets me amped. And as you know, I'll turn the camera around in a second once we're done with our ritual. William's got my shtick down. I see. It is AMA Friday. And I was up near the strip anyway, so I figured I would do it here, which is kind of awesome. My ritual is almost complete. I think I need 2 more. And I think I'm going to save these to eat, because those are delicious AF. All right, let's get all the sugar in there. Rah. They actually look sad, the guys in there. They're bumming. They want to be over here too, and I don't blame them. This is where the action is. This is where Bror Fredrik hangs out. All right. What is this? There's something floating in my coffee. I got a floater. What is that? What is that? I don't know. Something I don't want. All right, I think we're good. Mr. Vacation. I haven't seen you in a while, bro. Mr. Vacation. A Brorfy. Hey, Bert. I want to say hello to peoples. Bam. What up? All right. So it is AMA Friday. You get to ask me anything, and I get to drink coffee while I do it. It's kind of awesome. Let me say hello to all you fine folks out there and get this a little less up in the grill. 91 people. That's a good start. Maria, Great Dane Mom, Val Marie, Kyle, Tom Max, Sylvia, N90, Sony, Marie Bell, Venus, Mary, Tony. I like saying everyone's names. William, Sean, Carolyn. Let's see. I said, what's pouring down your gullet? This coffee's gonna be pouring down my gullet. Carolyn says today is your mom's birthday, so let's give a birthday shout out to Carolyn's mom, and we wish you many, many more. All right, let's see here. I had all the usual suspects. I got like gimbal hands. That's why I don't. But sometimes I can be clumsy AF. Sometimes I just like knock shit over for like no apparent reason. Like once in a blue moon, while taking my coffee out of the microwave, I'll like hit it on something and just demolish the kitchen and smell like cat piss for like an hour. I hate that. So did everyone enjoy checking out the strike yesterday? Urban, Auntie, Tiffany. William says he's going to Mexico. Who's getting married this year? BCDC. The Roku is actually 4 seconds ahead of the phone. I guess that's a good thing. Someone's been asking me. I've been getting all sorts of emails about setting up an app and getting on Roku and Apple TV, whatever. I was like, I'm not ready for that, because that's like, it's like $1,000 a month to be on all the streaming services. Thank you. I think it's like, it's a mellow color for me. I'm in a mellow mood. All right, this coffee is lukewarm AF, but it's my fault. It was sitting there like 2 minutes. It's still good though. They keep the milk in the refrigerator. So the milk is like 30 degrees and the coffee is like 170. So mix the two and effectively you got lukewarm coffee. your teacher's birthday. Your teacher's, how old are you, bro? Your teacher's birthday. Bum, 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 bum. Please don't repeat your comments over and over. I would greatly appreciate that. Franklin. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, what I have no don't even ask me about the commercial situation. I already got another one, and we're only 12 minutes in. I have no control over it anymore. There's no buttons to check or push. It just says ads or no ads. So they're like, oh, we'll figure it out for you. And I don't see I don't see an increase in ad revenue whatsoever. YouTube Premium is only $150 for the year. Yeah, that is awesome. It doesn't work out for me all that well, but it is pretty awesome. I'm thinking about getting it myself. What was that? Someone getting married? You hear the hooting and the hollering over there? Did someone just get down on his knee and propose? Or did a woman just get on her knee and propose? What do you think of a woman? Should a woman propose? I want to know what's going on. But I don't want to leave in a spot. Should women propose to men? Ads are yeah, I know. I'm seeing the same thing. Ads are brutal lately. So, William, are you the same dude as Daniel? I'm getting a feeling you're Daniel. Are you doing that? Don't be setting up new accounts. It's a dinosaur. What? Yeah, women should. Yeah, Sadie Hawkins all the way. Who cares? Thought it was a ghost sound. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, women should get down on their knee and propose once in a while. Why not? Who cares? It's all about equality. Not letting me tag, but howdy. The Blue Ridge Brigade, I like that. Am I heading to the Granny Fest? What's a Granny Fest? I'm not even sure what that is. A Granny Fest. Was that like a cougar convention? A bunch of like 60-year-old women looking for us young dudes? I don't know. What is my lucky number? That's a good one. All right, I forgot all about it. It is AMA. We're going to do questions, and that was a piece of plastic or some such shit that was floating in the coffee. Where did that come from? You want to see it? I dropped it. It's like a piece of rubber or something. Look at that. What the heck is that? That was in my coffee. My nails are clean. I take care of my nails pretty well. Let me flick that away. I'm not going to bust their balls about it. So, first question, and we'll get into the rules of this contest. First question, what's my favorite number 9? I like the number 9. I hate the number 7. I like the number 2 because 1 is the number of God, 2 is the number of establishment, 6 is not a good number. I don't like even numbers anyway, but I love the number 9. Prime number, it's just sexy, it's just like got that thing going on. I like 9. Even when I play craps, I'm just like, hoping to hit that 9 all the time. Stack heavy on the 9. And what is the problem with older women? None. None. I didn't say that was a problem. I just wanted to know if there was a cougar convention. Maybe I'll go. I don't know. There's no problem with older women looking? Absolutely not. Yeah, 9. Yeah, 111. Like, I for the longest time, I thought the fact that I see like 1111 on my freaking clocks and watches and all that other shit for like, my entire adult life, probably my child life too. I thought that was just unique to me, but there's some like evidence that says that everyone sees it. Maybe it's confirmation bias or something. I'm so sorry, bro. You are the real Daniel, so why are you calling yourself William? Anyway, 7, 11, and 21's an awesome number too. 11 is an awesome number. I just don't like 7 because all your money goes away on the craps table when the number 7 comes out, you know? They call the number 7 at the craps table the devil. And if you say the word, then you say 7 out loud at a craps table, people will throw shit at you. You gotta call it the devil. Because it is. Because all your money goes away. Okay, so before we get started, I'm gonna invite you to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell. I like doing it out here more than in the studio because I'm always afraid I'm gonna like knock my mic over or my Pellegrino or something. So bam, hit that bell button to get notified when I do this again, which is at least 5 times a week. Again, if you want to support the channel, because how would I say, it's sort of like PBS. You know how PBS goes? I wonder if I'm gonna get like, I wonder if they'll like say anything if I use their shtick, because I like the PBS shtick. Marty with the 10 Bananaramas, extra coffee fund. I do appreciate that. That's what I do. I mean, they charge like $4 for this. I just give them 10 and be done with it, you know, because they're just that cool to me, and you know they gotta make a living. This show is brought to you by the generosity of supporters like you, so thank you very much. You know, I got all the links and all the stuff down there. One is significant. My birthday is 11111. Yeah, I like the number 1 is awesome. You know, it's a godly number. It might be yeah, it could be. That's a big old piece of plastic. But anyway, that's the rules of the game. You can ask me anything you want to ask me. I really don't care. I'm not going to give you my date of birth, my social security, my driver's license, my home address. None of that. You could ask me Vegas questions. You could ask me relationship questions. You could ask me any kind of questions. I'm here to answer them, and I freaking enjoy it. This is my favorite. This is my favorite part of the week. Just answering questions. I like kind of being put on the spot too. And I thank you for kicking off that super chat activity. And super chatted questions will 100% get answered. I can't guarantee I'll answer everyone else's, not because you didn't super chat, but just because, you know, kind of flies by. I'm reading it off a little screen. So, can you explain how I came? Can I explain how I came to be raised by Italians? If it's not too personal. Yikes. Is it? Let me think about this a second. It is what it is. I was... Alright. Yeah, I'll answer it. You asked it, I'll answer it. Okay. My parents, my birth parents, were not the most stable people on the entire planet. My father was a nut. My father, I don't even know if he's alive anymore. I'll be totally honest, I don't even know if the dude's alive anymore. Last time I checked, he was. You know, once he left my mother, he left her in like a weird situation. He was like, I can get into all details, but that's not really the question. I can get into details about him and, you know, the things he did and, you know, how he left my mom's and whatnot. But in one way he was justified, in another way he wasn't. My mother was just not equipped to raise kids. You know, she had me when she was very young, and you know, basically, for all intents and purposes, I was given up for like an unofficial adoption. So I was taken in by an Italian family in the neighborhood, so I was raised by them, and they were wonderful. To this day, I still communicate with some of them, but for the most part, not too much anymore. My mother came back into the picture. I met my father for the first time when I was like 12. And my mother came back into the picture, somewhere around 1st or 2nd grade, you know, like, because these people who were raising me, who would, you know, like basically like my grandparents, I still call her my grandma. When I say my grams, when I'm walking around, when I'm talking, I say my grams, I'm speaking of, all right, I'm getting ahead of myself reading these questions. All right, I'll go back and read the questions. When I speak about my grandma, I'm speaking about my kind of adoptive gram. So, she came back into the scene when I became, like, of age to go to school and whatnot. But, you know, she still wasn't equipped to be a single mom. And then I moved in with her, but they still kind of raised me. It was a kind of a complicated situation. And then she finally got her shit together. But, I mean, she wasn't a bad person, but my father just, you know, did the wango de tango on her emotionally. And she was young, and he was a bit older. I'll tell you stories about my dad's one day. You know, he was a hustler. And, you know, so they kind of co-raised me, but I always gravitated towards them. I always picked up, you know, they were New York Italians, and I gravitated towards that lifestyle. My mother, being that she had a lot of, you know, she had like how would I say, abandonment issues, because what my father did, she became very strict in my life. So I went in the complete opposite direction. You know, I just became wild. I resisted that hardcore. And then she kind of like, you know, put me back out there again, and I became an emancipated minor. I literally went to court and became an emancipated minor when I was 15. Had to go to court, fill out the documents. Why do you want to be emancipated minors? Because, like, you know, kind of like doing this thing, blah, 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 blah. They made her show up. And I remember she was, like, all upset and whatever. But I'm like, what are we going to do now? I mean, I had my first apartment when I was 16. I got my first studio apartment when I was 16 years old. So that's why I wanted to get emancipated. I lied, told them I was 18 and shit, and they didn't do background checks back then. And she was just like, oh, she was all upset. Oh, this makes me a bad mother. And I'm just like, no, it just makes you, you know, who you are and who I am. And it's too late. I've been on my own since I was freaking 12. So, you know, this just makes sense because now I can start my life, you know. I became an emancipated minor. I got my working papers. You know, I started applying. This is like a whole different level of things when you become an emancipated minor that you cannot do under 18 if you are not. Like, I was able to apply for my driver's license at 16, not a learner's permit, full-blown driver's license, because I was emancipated minor. So that makes you a legal adult, at least in the state of New York. So, yeah, you know, I could join the frickin' military, do whatever I wanted because I was an emancipated minor at the age of 15. So, yeah, you know, lived kind of an interesting life, and that's why I was raised by Italians, and I love being raised by Italians. I know how to cook. You know, I still talk with my hands and whatnot. I still kind of, you know, talk the language and whatever, but so did everyone else. It's kind of a New York thing more than a cultural thing. But, yeah, that's the story in a nutshell and what I want to reveal. So let's see. What was one of the best things you learned from my Italian family? I would say how to cook. And sort of the attitude, you know? Sort of like how important family is, even if they're not blood. You know, I consider people who don't share the same blood just as much family as people who do, sometimes more, you know, and that was always important. Loyalty, you know, like all the things you see on The Sopranos without being The Sopranos. So, yeah, if I could live anywhere else, where would it be? Ask Kathy. Like I always say, I would be bi-coastal. I would be tri-coastal. I would live, I don't know about California, even though I love California. I don't think my temperament suits the California lifestyle per se. I've tried to fit in, but, you know, it is what it is. But I love Lake Tahoe, I love the Northeast, and I like the beaches of Florida. So if I had my choice, I'd be tri-coastal like this. if I was to pick anywhere else except Vegas to live, like permanently, if I couldn't be tri-coastal or I can't ever afford a big bus, which is a goal, I would say the Northeast. I just love the Northeast, like, Maine and the leaves changing and New Hampshire and Connecticut. I just love that whole New England vibe. I'm just all about it. All about it. I love the way Christmas takes place there. I just love it. Bro, you are a stand-up. Well, thank you very much. And it takes one to know one, bro. Alright, let's see. What was the worst job and the best job I ever had? I've never really had many jobs. I mean, I went from, Diggy, what's going on? Thank you for the question, Keith Bubba. I never really had many jobs, to be perfectly honest. When I was, because I just made mention that, I popped right out of my mom's and I had my first apartment by the time I was 16. Emancipated minor and whatnot by 15. Most people are still like wet behind the ears. I've been living this life a long time, like as an adult. So my very first job, I worked at a deli. Like, I don't even know if I can say worst or best. So I'm just gonna tell you what they are because there weren't that many. I worked at a deli in Kennedy Airport as a short order cook at 16 years old. Like slinging freaking hash and all that stuff. That lasted like a couple of weeks or whatever. And from there, like every other, and then I worked in a bagel place for a little while earlier in the morning. The bagel place opened at like 3 in the morning, and me and this dude, Yo Jeff, used to make all the bagels, and that was we just had fun. His name was Yo Jeff, like that's where my name came from. It goes way back, not Bror Fredrik, but Hey Bror Fredrik. That is legitimately like an entire thing. I mean, I didn't just come up with that for the show. I've been hearing that my whole life, and it started with Yo Jeff back when I was 16, because his name was Jeff, and everyone used to say, Yo Jeff. So he just, like, if we were just hanging out, I'd be like, Yo Jeff. And mine would be, Hey Bror Fredrik, Hey Bror Fredrik and Yo Jeff, because we were in the back of the house and whatnot, and it just stuck. Everyone has always been like, Yo Bror Fredrik, Hey Bror Fredrik, Hey Bror Fredrik, Hey Bror Fredrik. And so it's not something I invented for the show. And it's all like one thing. It's not, I never heard Hey Bror. It's like, Hey Bror Fredrik, whatever. So I worked at the bagel shop with Yo Jeff. And then, like every other good New Yorker, raised around Italians, I got into the trucking business. I met a guy who knew a guy, like everyone gets into it. There's a lot of different ways you can go as a kid in Brooklyn and Queens and whatnot. One of them's a bad path, and the other one is like, you get involved in the trucking industry somehow, It was always open. All you had to be is like, yo, you got some work? They'd be like, yeah, kid, put on a shirt and get in the back, It was just that easy. And I got a job for Flying Tigers. Ask that question again, will I collab with other YouTubers? Ask that again, I just saw that whiz by. But I do want to answer that. So I worked for Flying Tigers, got in the union. I was at freaking 17 or 18. I was making 26 or 28 bucks an hour. I was like rolling in stupid dough back when I was a kid, I mean, that was like unheard of. I was making like adult ass money, but I was in the union. But I was in it's like the 880 or the 881 union, and there's one union above us and whatnot. But, I got turned on to photography, and I just kept the job at Flying Tigers to fund professional photography equipment. It's not only expensive now, it was stupid expensive when I first started. And it's just something I wanted to do. So I saved up, all my ducats from them. And then their union went on strike, and it was the middle of freaking winter. And I was out there on a picket line like we seen these peoples yesterday. and picketing is a truckers union in New York. It's not the same as the culinary union. Picketing in New York is like, like you ducking freaking Molotovs and whatnot. It was not a joke. There was repercussions. There was fights between scabs and truckers, and it was nuts. And it was the middle of the winter, so if you weren't like fighting scabs, you were freezing your ass off. And I was just like, I got enough money saved. I had a lot of money saved. And I bought my photography equipment, and I was off to the races from there. But other than that, I've never really had a job. So I've had 3 jobs, and then a career, after that. So, yeah. Did I ever look up Tom Likas? I used to listen to him back in New York, like 20 years ago. I remember him. He was like way ahead of his times with the controversial stuff. I think my chat slowed down. Let me fire that up again. Oh, yeah. I'm like way behind on the chat messages. Did I ever finish high school or get my GED? If you go to college, what would my major be? Never finished high school. I did a whole video about why I never finished high school. It was because the frickin' principal, he had designs on me, and I hit him upside the head with a Yoo-hoo bottle. So I never got to graduate. True story. I did there's a video like way back, like 2 years ago, I did on that whole story. It had friggin' designs on me. So I had to like level the playing field with him. That might qualify as one of the craziest things I ever did. Yeah, and then I ended up getting my GED. And yeah, I got like 1 wrong on my GED, which was crazy. I was a boss. Lake Tahoe is a different world. I love Lake Tahoe because it soothes my Nordic soul, because it's very like, it's got that fjord type of vibe to it. And I love the fjord vibe, but I'm just not into being like stuck in the house for like 10 months at a time. Unless I had like, a 7,000 square foot house with a theater and a bowling alley and all this shit to keep me occupied. I don't think I could just sit around and, look at snow that long. It would make me nuts. How far away from the strip do I live? That's a little... okay, we'll pin the geographic area about almost 4 miles. Almost 4 miles. Tom Max says, 5 Bananaramas, thank you very much. What is the oldest thing I own? Wow. The oldest thing I own is a ring that I cannot find. I could still say I own it. Remember I told you I like lost my rings? Like, all my pinky ring collection is like MIA. But my grandfather, I ended up with his pinky ring, and supposedly that came down directly from, I have like blue blood Nordic, like I have blue blood Swedish. Just look up the name Bror Fredrik. That's why I'm like Bror Fredrik the frickin' 90th. So I would say I have a ring that is about 200 years old. Yeah, about 200 years old. If I could ever find the damn thing. It's gold, but it's not 18 or 14. I never had it tested, but it's either like 22 karat or 10 or 12. Because it's got like that brassy look to it, and that can go either way. And it's got a diamond in it and a piece of onyx. Oh, Steve, what up? You guys are going to a hockey game now? I'm a hockey fan. What's going on? Who do I like for the Penguins or the... Put me on the spot with that one. Let me see. All right, I like the Pens. I'm gonna go with the Pens on this one. I'm gonna go with the Pens. I'll take it a layer deeper. I'm gonna go with the Pens by 2. Let's see if I'm right. By 2. Let's see how good I am at handicapping. Yeah, Bror means brother. I mean, technically, if you take it all the way back to, and I'll talk to you like when you're done, whatever. I should be home-ish by like 8. So give me a buzz later, if you want. Oh, live stream. Bro, technically, in the ancient Nordic, it actually means elder brother. It means brother, but it either means firstborn or oldest brother. That's technically what Bror means. By 2, all right. By 2. What's happening? And what's going on, DeVries? What's happening, brother? We gotta hang out soon. All right, bro, what is your favorite casino for watching sports games? I'll admit it. Don't take away my man card, but I don't watch a whole lot of sports. But when I do, I like watching at Caesars, and I like watching at Westgate, because they're just awesome places. What am I most grateful for? Asked Angie. I would say I'm grateful for everyone who's here right now. I'm grateful for everyone who supports me. I'm grateful for my friends and extended family. I'm grateful for all the opportunities I've been given in life. You know, whether I've taken life up on them or not, I think I have for the most part. I think I followed through with that small, still voice. You know what I'm talking about. So I think I'm just grateful, and in some ways, honestly, I'm grateful to be alive. You know, because it could have gone in a whole different direction. All right, let's see what else. Dun 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 dun. All right, we have questions. Let me get back to that one about am I ever gonna collab with other Vegas YouTubers? Probably not. I mean, I'll just be honest, probably not. One, because, they've never showed any interest in wanting to collab with me, so why should I show any interest in wanting to collab with them? You know what I'm saying? Two, I don't think we do the same thing. My vibe has always been, this is the Hey Bror Fredrik show, and Vegas just happens to be the backdrop to it. It's not, I've never claimed or even wanted to be a Vegas-centric channel, even though I totally embraced it and went in that direction when I started, because it was the pandemic and I had nothing better to do, and I've been here off and on, like, again, almost my entire adult life. So, it is what it is, but then I started, I remember the day that I kind of shifted gears, because I was biting my tongue for a long time, and then that court decision came out about Roe v. Wade, and people talking all sorts of crap about it because they had no idea, it was just such emotionally charged. They weren't like digging the facts. And I just dropped the facts, and we were walking around by Stratosphere. And ever since then, the channel was like this. And then it went like this, like that, and I'm okay with that, because that was the defining moment when people realized that, I have opinions, I want to share stuff, I want to share my knowledge. I just refuse to talk about the 5 best places to eat shrimp, on YouTube. I mean, I'm not going to look back in 5 years and say, shit, I wasted 10 years of my life or 5 years of my life helping freaking Vegas sell more shrimp, fuck that. Because, I'm not a shill for this town, I just happen to live here. I love the town, I love talking about it, I love having it as a backdrop, I love the convenience of it, and yes, it's opened up a lot of doors, but, it's just, I'm just not gonna, make everything all about Vegas, because Vegas don't give a shit about me, doesn't give a shit about any of the other vloggers either, they're just like free advertising. So, if one of them ever reached out to me, which I don't think they ever will, I might consider it. I don't have any true animosity towards any of the other supposed Vegas vloggers, except one's a total douche. You know, I could prove the doucheness of some of the things they did. And I know a couple other people jumped on the bandwagon when, you know, the news came out with that hit piece because I was actually honest about my opinion. You know, they jumped on the bandwagon, probably made $50 off my name and whatnot. Who cares? I don't even hold people accountable for that. People do what people do. But, you know, for the most part, we're not doing the same thing. So, it's like 30 women with bikinis heading this way. Go check them out. Look over my shoulder in like 30 seconds. You know, if they ever reach out to me, but they won't. So, you know, why should I? I mean, they don't need me and I don't need them. It's the whole, you know, it's the whole mentality of, you know, they tell you, whoa, in order to collaborate, you know, you have to, you know, in order to grow your channel, you have to, yeah, Great Dane Mom nailed it. Dumbass. I'll call him out on in public if I ever see him. You know, collaborations help grow your channel. Whatever, I'm okay with the way the channel is now. I would like the studio streams to be more popular, but that's just a matter of me. You know, I'm teasing the YouTube algorithm right now. It's still trying to figure out whether I'm a Vegas YouTuber or I'm a commentator. But if I'm gonna do collaborations, I want to do collaborations with like the Quartering and Tim Pool and, you know, Tucker Carlson. You know, I'm gonna go collaborate with someone who's talking about shrimp. It doesn't interest me, you know. I want to go up, not sideways. So, you know, yeah. I mean, Dan Bongino calls me up, and it's like, yo, you wanna come on the show? I'm down. You know, you don't have to ask me twice, but you know, I'm not gonna sit and talk about, you know, 5 best places to eat shrimp. That's just me. And again, I don't have any animosity towards them except one, and it just is what it is, you know. I would just do different things, you know. It's just a completely different thing that we do. Am I ready for some Arturo Fuentes and old-fashioned? Yes, I am. Yes, I am, Captain Dave. I'm looking forward to it. Hit me up like way in advance because I wanna like X out some parts on my calendar. Yeah, Jose, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't agree with everything that comes out of these people's mouths, but I like being part of cultural issues, in case you haven't noticed, you know? Like, I put out a video today that was, this coffee is so freaking cold, I can't even drink it. That's one of the downsides of being in here. But I'm yapping, I'm talking the balls off the rhinoceros right now, because this shit gets me amped. I put out a video today, why I hate Halloween. You know, and it's not like I hate it, but I just like getting people to talk. And it's not clickbaity, I'm not trying to be, you know, divisive or controversial, and that's what YouTube thinks I'm doing. That's why I say, this show's provided by the support of people like you, because YouTube really doesn't like me, you know? They're just like, you know, I say the wrong thing, and I cannot control myself sometimes, you know? Like, they did not like that video about IQs in the, you know, in the United States. Like, in the past 5 years, we've wiped out 70 years of IQ gains, and I showed the proof during a live stream. They didn't like that, because it doesn't go with the agenda, it doesn't go with the narrative, because everyone should get a trophy. So they're just like, you know, if they don't straight up demonetize it, they shadow it. If they don't shadow it, they don't publish it for 12 hours. And 12 hours is the prime time to get all those additional views. So, is what it is. But I'm not going to shut up, you know? Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Find this position. Number 1, little people. That's funny. You guys are funny. The honesty that is portrayed is good to recognize oneself. So freaking lootly it is. Alright, keep them questions coming. Oh, so, you know, so I did that. Why I can't stand Halloween. I mean, I have fond memories of it when I was a kid, but I have an opinion about everything.
So I put it out there, and I don't care if people like, hey, Bror Fredrik, you're an a-hole. Whatever. The Headless Horseman kick Santa Claus' ass anytime. I don't really care because I don't get offended by other people's opinions. I never have and I never will. I don't care if someone has a differing opinion than my own. That's wonderful. That is wonderful. If everyone thought the same, I think that's a problem with the world right now. We're being trained to all think the freaking same thing, and it's to the detriment of society overall. We're supposed to have differing opinions. So how could I be pissed off if someone says, hey, Bror Fredrik, Halloween is the best. You are so wrong. That's cool. That doesn't bother me. I'm just like, I feel, you know what I say to myself? That was a good video. If everyone agreed with me, I'd be like, all right, that's cool that people agree with me. But when I get like a couple of people like, I think you're off on this one because, Halloween, you're missing the boat, it's not about death, and I'm just like, that is awesome. I encourage people to stand firm on an opinion, to openly engage in honest discourse, and I don't get butthurt about it, there's some things, okay, if you're playing, I play for that team. If you're open and honest about playing for that team, we can't be bros or broettes. There's certain things I draw the line with. Don't mess with the kids. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things I will morally draw the line with. But other than that, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. It's hard to not get offended, but you just gotta put it in perspective. If someone comes at me hard sometimes, which, I've had a few thousand people come at me hard a few months ago, and that's one of the reasons I'll never collab either, because no one ever reached out to me and was like, yo, bro, that was kind of effed up what they did to you, so, whatever. So don't expect my support. Not that I needed it, but it would have been nice. It would have been nice if, more viewers showed some support during that era too, but I guess everyone thought I was a little toxic back then. But I digress. Yeah, Halloween has very demonic origins. Absolutely. That's why I'm not into it. But, sometimes I can get offended, but I say to myself, I put myself in their position. Or I put myself in the position of the people around them, and I go like this. Holy shit. Someone has to live with this person. Someone has to, deal with this person. Or I say, how miserable, what has truly gone wrong in their life that they're so bitter and so malicious and just are attempting to be so hurtful. Something must have really gone wrong. And when I think about it from that, it's not like I feel bad, like I want to go hug them or anything, but sometimes they need a hug, sometimes they need a knuckle sandwich. But, it ain't about me. When someone like truly goes off and gets all freaking weird and like super butthurt, it's more about them. It has nothing to do with me. I just uncorked the genie of their world, so it's not me. That's something deep inside them, so I'm not going to take that personal. Jeff says, hi, Bror Fredrik, you are a free-spirited guy. Much appreciated. Greetings from France. Shout out France, and thank you very much. That's just me. I'm pretty easygoing, but I'm also like a mirror, I'm also like a mirror. Whatever's reflected into me, like I will remember Jeff Lebowski's comment, and as far as I'm concerned, like I'm sending you all sorts of energy back. I want you to have the best day, the best week, and the best life you possibly can for sending that energy and that love my way. I'm sending it back to you times 10, and when people send me negative energy, I send it back to them times 10. That's just me. What's the best thing that happened to me this week. This week, I usually have like a very profound response. I gotta go get another coffee. I mean, I honestly do. They don't even know I'm over here. I don't have a profound answer for that so far, but this week has been fairly uneventful. However, let me think about that for a second. I love when you guys make me think. I don't feel bad about it. I don't have to be Johnny on the spot. Let me think about that for a second. What happened good this week? I had someone thank me. All right. I had someone thank me this week that I had a disagreement with like 4 or 5 years ago. Oh, that's a good one, Chintad. Ask me that again in a little bit. I want to catch up with that. I had a disagreement with someone over, it wasn't really political, it was more of a social thing. And reached out out of nowhere recently to say, we had a disagreement and we never really spoke on it or that much about it or much else after that. And this individual says to me, you know, now I get it. Maybe because I'm a little older, because this person was younger than me. Maybe because I'm a little older now. Maybe because I've had a little more experience. Maybe because I looked into it a little more. But I do want to say, you were right, and I do appreciate you bringing that to my attention. They also told me I was a dick about it, which, whatever. Sometimes I could be a dick about it. If I know I'm right about something, I'm not saying I could be a dick about it, but I am going to be forceful about it. If I know what the hell I'm talking about, I don't come with, I can't say I don't. But for the most part, I don't do anecdotal. I don't do why am I off to the side there? That's better. I don't do anecdotal, and I don't like when people do anecdotal stuff, these little personal quips and experiences they have that justify everything. I'm into facts and figures and pie charts and graphs and peer studies and empirical data. That's how my brain functions. I want to get to the bottom of things, Opinions are like assholes. Everyone got them, and half of them stink, So this person was like, yeah, you're a little of an asshole about it because, you didn't really give me any wiggle room to adapt to that. And I was like, well, how am I going to, Oh, maybe this dude could bring me some coffee. Or maybe not. You see that? Someone's going in there getting some stuff from the bar. You didn't give me a lot of wiggle room to get into it. And, if you were a little more patient, I may have come around a little sooner. Not to seeing it my way, but to seeing the big picture of what we were talking about. But the fact that they took the time to acknowledge that they actually did learn from that conversation, that it stuck in their head, it forced them to think, that was pretty cool. And I'll tell you what, that was pretty honest because a lot of people don't have that level of honesty in their lives. People don't like admitting that they're wrong, admitting that they don't know something, admitting that they could actually learn from others because people are just turning into freaking clinical narcissists. So I thought that was cool. So yeah, that was something cool that happened this week. I'm gonna see if this guy can bring me a coffee. Let's see what else. Dun, 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 dun. Gunklin, you were as good as Joe Rogan? Wow, that's a compliment. I must say, I appreciate that. I'm not trying to be the next Joe Rogan, but if he called me up, I would not hesitate. How you doing? I'm gonna come grab another Americano. Unless you can send one of the girls over.
I can do that for you.
You can? I appreciate that. Score. What? You know what? If he doesn't bring milk, I'm going to use what's left in there as my milk. Because it's room temperature. All right, we're in business. Now I'm going to be amped. But if Joe Rogan called me up, I'd be like, yeah, I'll come on your show, bro. But I think people want to, I know to take the studio streams to the next level is going to do going to have a lot to do with bringing guests on. And I want to, and I have no objection to it. Like, you know, most of the people I work with, I'm going to bring on because they're all cool and super interesting people. I'm getting a Michaels ad, and the first thing that they're showing is skulls and death. Yeah, that seems happy. But I do want to bring people on too, and I don't mind. I don't want to necessarily bring just people on who agree with me, because that makes for a kind of boring show, just, you know, like patting each other on the back. I don't mind when people disagree with me. Like I said, I don't get butthurt that often. I got fairly thick skin. But I am not going to engage with people, or maybe I should. But that it could go two ways. But I don't like engaging people with, again, who don't do their research. They're just coming up with, like we were talking about in the low IQ thing, where, you know, they don't recognize facts. They go more facts, feelings, and facts. Like, you know, the latest thing that feelings trump facts, which if 2 + 2 is 4, if you feel it's 5, that does not make it 5, you know? So I don't like engaging in conversations with people like that. I don't like engaging in conversations with people who get hung up on semantics, because I think semantics it's a crutch for people who don't have a good argument. You know, they pick one semantic point, you know, just to try to, like, keep up on the conversation, you know, to make that, but it's semantics. It doesn't freaking mean anything. And I don't like engaging with people who are all about anecdotal information. Because just because you have one experience in your life. Oh, thank you very, very much. I appreciate you. Score. Alright. This be some black hot glue. Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna take what's left of this and pour it in here. Oh, it's the perfect color. I'm like a freaking chemist. Only 1 cube though, but we're gonna rock it. Yeah, anecdotal information is again, it's the comfort of a weak mind. And it's kind of sad too, anecdotal information. Just because something happened to you, I might feel bad for it, but it doesn't create, it's not the truth in a lot of cases, you know? And people lean on it like it's, you know, the God's honest truth, just some anecdotal bullshit. But again, I probably should prepare to go down those rabbit holes with people. But I don't want to, honestly, I don't want to make people feel like shit, you know? I don't want to fight with people, you know? I don't want to expose people and, you know, I don't want to have to be mean, you know? I don't want to have to be that guy who just looks at a guest and it's like, you don't know what the actual F you are talking about, you know? How did you survive so long being this ignorant? You know, I don't want to have to do that. You know, there's enough of that in this world. So it's not like I'm looking for people who I wholly agree with, but, you know, at the same time, I don't want people coming on my show just looking for a platform to spew their idiocy, you know? Wow. Like, you know, there's some people who are good at that, though. I mean, I'm good at it, too. I've just never done it on camera, to be perfectly honest. I've never done it on camera, but I am good. I mean, I like a good conflict. I love a good debate. Don't get me wrong, but I've just never done it on camera. There's some people who are really good at it. Like, I go back to what do you call it? Kevin Samuels, you know? Kevin Samuels, he reached out to me. He was a male advocate, talked a lot about, dating, talked a lot about dating in the black community, talked a lot about, men's issues, women's issues, sexual marketplace, all that type of stuff. Cool dude. He reached out to me right before he died, and he was like, yo, Bror Fredrik, hey, Bror Fredrik, you want to get together? I'm going to be in Vegas. Let's do a show. And I sat. I did not know what to do. I did not know what to do, to be perfectly honest, because I'm just like, ooh, that's a big switch to go, because Kevin Samuels, I mean, to this day, he's like the godfather of certain issues, And I was just like, either it's gonna make my channel or break my channel, one or the other. And I didn't know if I could keep up with the level of conflict that he was used to doing. I've never done that on camera per se. Maybe I should film it one day, just going off, But he was a master at it. He kept his cool, his composure, didn't become insulting. He let people, get shit off their chest and then just hit them right back with the facts and whatnot. I think I'd be like, I get a little, them's fighting words, you know what I'm saying? I'm a little like that. Ooh, that's strong. And it's hot. And it's good. Alright, we got all sorts of time. Alright, let's see. Hi, 61 is in the house. Angie's here. Alright, let's find some more questions. Yeah, I'm not really a hothead per se. But I can be. It just depends the energy, If someone puts a lot of negative energy into me, but I still keep my cool, because that's years of training. I try to keep my cool and not. I'm kind of. I mean, as much as I'm a total freaking goofball sometimes, and I like being funny, and I'm a ham, and I can be at the same time serious as a heart attack. I'm kind of stoic deep down inside. Of the stoic nature, because, I'm Nordic. And I got a whole episode going on, gonna be a whole episode about stoicism. Sylvia, do I still use a light meter? When I do photography, which is not that often anymore, the only time I've used it is in studio. Like, people use them outdoors, but inside a professional camera, there's also like a high-end one. Not a prosumer, but a true professional camera, like a Nikon D850, has an awesome light meter built into it that's more than adequate for outdoor stuff. So indoors, yes, I have done, I use a light meter all the time. What do I want to be remembered for? That's a good one. What do I want to be remembered for? Huh. What do I want? What do I want people to say at my funeral? When my grandfather died, no one could come up with anything to say at his funeral. That was freaking sad. So I got up there. I was like, look, you dumb motherfuckers. Oh, I don't think I say that on YouTube. But, dumb MFers. And I went up there and I was just like, you only know people. You should only be thinking about people with how your interactions go with them. And people don't grasp that concept. They hear about some other person. Oh, this guy's whatever. This guy's a tightwad. He doesn't spend a dime. And then it's like, okay, I heard that, so it must be true. So yeah, he's a tightwad. But then, wait a second. Every time we hang out, he picks up the bill. So how's he a tightwad? That's your interaction with said individual, not mine. And you gotta think like that. Speak of people that you interact with by how you're perceiving them in your relationship, not by what someone else tells you. You know what I'm saying? So my grandfather was awesome to me. He was stoic AF. He was stoic. You know, he showed emotion and love. I'll get back to what I want people to remember me for, but this is kind of interesting. He was stoic. He got me in trouble once. He drew a naked chick with boobies. You know, he was an engineer, so he drew a naked chick with boobies in one of my sketchbooks when I was a little kid. My mom thought I did it. She beat the snot out of me. But he finally admitted he did it. I was like, there's no way I'd draw those boobies that nice. You know, I was like freaking 12 years old, 9 years old, whatever. I was like, I don't draw that good. I could barely draw a stick figure. That was Grandpa. And she's like, no way. You know? But he drew a chick with boobies. You know? I was like, oh, so that's what they look like. Anyway. But, you know, everyone experienced them different. But me and him, we went fishing, we caught the bass, we went on the boats, we did this, we did that. I mean, I broke one of his lawn sprinklers, the ones that do this, when I was a little kid, and he freaking told my mom, and mom got all pissed, and, you know, other than that, I never had a beef with him. He was just cool to me, taught me shit, taught me woodworking, taught me about cars, but he was stoic. He was stoic, you know? And not lacking emotion, but he was stoic. So when he died, an ad came up on the booby story. That sucked. When he died, nobody got up and said anything, you know. And then the preacher, like, there was like a deafening silence. And then the preacher dude or the priest dude, he gets up and he's like, well, what can we say about it? His name was Bror also. I'm a Bror. I got a number after my name. So his name was Bror too. And they're like, well, what can we say about Bror? And they used to call him Brorchen. Because it's another long story. But it's the same thing as Brorchen. And everyone's like giggling. What can we say about him? And I was just like, I got up and I was just like, obviously, you know, and I got up and I just spoke on him and whatnot, you know, told him all my childhood stories, told him this, told him that, and everyone was just like, you know, and I wanted to make him feel like that, you know, because he was a good man, just because he wasn't demonstrative or whatever, and he could be stern, and he always spoke kind of like me. Like, I'm a little light, like far lighter. I like to have fun and goof off. There was no goof off in Grandpa. He didn't like goofing off at all. Like, when we were fishing, I mean, we'd have fun fishing. But, like, if I was bouncing off the rocks and doing crazy shit, he'd be like, you know? Everything had to be a certain way, you know? But other than that, we had a great time. You know, I just didn't goof off around him. But yeah, like, people, like, he was honest, he spoke the truth, he called it like it is, you know, there was no play in him. And I liked it and I appreciated it. He always knew where you stood with him. If you effed up, he'd tell you, you know, if you did good, he'd praise you or whatnot. But he loved Christmas. I'll tell you what, that's another reason I love Christmas, because, you know, he was just all about it. Like, he was a completely different person. He wasn't mean, he wasn't cold, he was just stoic. You know, stoic. And that is the name. That's why all these Viking shows piss me the F off, because they all show Vikings as raging, emotional idiots. But they're all like this. That's stoicism. Rome's burning, and Vikings are like, you know, stoicism. You're just not, you know, you don't display. You don't walk around with your frickin' pants around your ankles. That's what Stoics would say. You know, and I'm into all that. I'll read you some Marcus Aurelius one day. But Yeah, they didn't experience him the way I did. I had a totally different view on him, and I hope I did him justice. You know, I got up and spoke on him for like 15 minutes. So what do I want people to speak on when I die? I just want people to say, I don't know, he made us think. You know, he was genuine. There was no guile in his heart. You know, he's a good man. Yeah, you know. Remember the stories and the adventures that, you know, you experienced with me? Getting choked up. Time for coffee. Holy cow, a booby commercial. YouTube is a trip. YouTube is a trip. You mention one thing, and they're just like, bam. Check out these Brazilicuties. I mention boobies, and they're like, oh. It's freaking YouTube. YouTube's a trip.
You're in here, True Food?
Yeah.
I was gonna make sure because they're closed. So that's right.
Oh, yeah, they know I'm here. They allow me to sit here because the music in there is a bit much. Thank you. I appreciate you checking, though. That was different. Security guard was doing his thing. He was checking to see if I was with them. Yeah, they heard me talking about the double barrel slingshots. All right, Angie, great answers, all true. All right, keep them questions coming. Play it close to the vest. I mean, you know, you never, don't talk about things that you're gonna do. You know, that's like the worst because you don't know who's rooting for you and who's against you. You know, don't talk about shit you got planned to do. There's another 30 bikini-wearing women going up that escalator. You know, make sure it's done. Make sure the ink is dried before you go bragging about something. Because you don't know who's truly on your side. May you never see the back of your neck. May you never see the back of... What does that mean? Hey, you never see the back of your neck. I gotta think about that. That sounds very philosophical. I kind of like that. Do you have a favorite rock and roll song? Not really. I go through like various moods. My taste is so eclectic. Wow, that's kind of bitter. I'm gonna use my chewing on one in there. Wow. I don't think I genuinely have one. One that I play more than others? I got playlists out the wing. I gotta think about that one. Thank you for that question. I would say... Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're right. You know, that's kind of me. Angie, did you become a member? Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Members are awesome. What was... Oh, they heard me talking about boobies. I was talking about my grandfather. He made a sketch of like a naked chick with her boobies out in my little notepad when I was a kid, and my mom's found it and she thought I did it. You know, but I don't draw that good. I can never draw boobies the way he drew boobies. I mean, they were nice. He made a nice drawing in a yellow crayon of all things. I remember this to the day I died. You know, I remember that. He drew it in like a yellow crayon, a naked chick in my sketchbook. And I also remember the first time I ever seen a Playboy magazine. I was like, one of my uncles, they were clearing out his crap. One of my uncles died. And they had like all his Playboy magazines. They were all, and I was like a little kid, right? And I was just like, I didn't even understand what it was all about, you know? I was maybe like 7 or 8, if I recall correctly. And they were some old ass magazines, like ones with like Marilyn Monroe. They were like old, you know? And I snuck when everyone else, because like at the end of the night, they were all like drinking coffee. So I snuck in, well, not snuck in, but they staged all this stuff that was going somewhere in my grandmother's living room, my grams, and I think it was my uncle Enrique, and one of my last living uncles, because I had 11 uncles, 10 of them got killed in WW2. 10 of them. That was bad. Anyway, I digress. So when 9. I had my uncle Cue Ball and my uncle Enrique. So my uncle Cue Ball, he was cool. No, it was one uncle Enrique. I think it was my uncle Enrique died. Okay. So they had this magazine rack and it was all full of Playboys. You know, like legitimate Playboys. And I'm just like, you know, kind of intrigued me. I was just like, sorry, I whipped one out. You know, I was like 7, I'm not shitting you, I was like 6, 7, maybe 8. I think by 8 I knew. Still believed in Santa Claus, but I knew about boobies. So I had to be like maybe 6 or 7. So I was checking out the boobage. And I couldn't sleep after checking out my first Playboy magazine. Well, I checked out the whole friggin' stack of them, you know, because they were all having coffee. And then my mother, like I don't know what, maybe it was like 1 in the morning. She's like, "Why are you not asleep yet?" And I'm like, "I don't know, I just can't sleep." Because when you're like wide awake, when you're like 6 or 7 years old, they automatically assume you were sick or something, you know. And then she kept coming back in, and she's just like, "What is wrong? Is there something bothering you that you can't sleep?" And I finally had to admit it because I was a little kid, and I was like, "Moms, I didn't even know how to put it." I was like, I was in the living room and I was checking out those pictures, you know, those magazines with the naked women in them, you know, and she was just like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Show me." And I was just like, "Nah, well, you know," and I explained to her the scenario and this and that. She thought like I had, you know, I took it home or something like that, which I didn't. So, and I explained to the whole thing, and she's just like, she's like, "Well, if you want, I will get some of those, and I will bring them home if you want to look at them anymore." I mean, I guess her thinking was to demystify it, to be like, all right, just to not make it like, "Oh my God, you look at boobies," you know, like that. She's just like, "All right, whatever, you know, if you want, I'll bring some home, and you can check them out and get that whole shit out of your system or whatever." And you know, what do you say? It's my mom's. It wasn't my dad's, my mom's, and she's like, "And if you ever want to talk about, you know, like the birds and the bees," and I'm just like, "Mom, you know, I don't think I'm gonna be talking about the birds and the bees with you, but I think boobies are pretty cool now, you know." That's when I like woke up to boobies. I was just like, you know, and I remember the first time after that, we went to the mall. I think it was Roosevelt Field out on Long Island, and I was in the mall, and I was just like, now I see boobies. That's what I saw. I was like, I didn't even know what they were before that, you know? So it was like an eye-opening experience. You know why? Your mom says the same way? Oh, what do we got? Gifted memberships? Gifted memberships are awesome. Angie gifted 5 memberships. Who ended up with those? I didn't even see. Oh, I was thinking about my first experience with boobies. Angela G, Bert got one, Hi 61, Val Marie. I got one. I got a gifted membership. How does YouTube not figure that out? That it's actually my channel. But I'll take it. That's awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, in person, blah blah blah. Boobies. You have a question, you don't hear much, or maybe you do. Since my husband and I aren't coming to Vegas anymore, can you call me when you're not live? Looking forward to meeting you. Yeah, I think that could be arranged. Send me an email, link in the description. Just make sure you put something descriptive in, like whenever you know, there's only two ways to reach me. One is through the Facebook, Facebook Messenger through the Broad Nation Facebook group, and the other is the link, the email in the description. But that is my forward-facing email, so that everyone uses that, and it is what it is. So make sure you put something very descriptive in. If it doesn't have something truly descriptive in the subject that I could just pick off, and that Gmail doesn't see, like it has to say something like, like, hey Bror, blah 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 blah. Put something in the subject, and it won't automatically go to spam, because I just empty the spam every day. I don't even look at it. I'm just like blank, blank, blank. So yeah, make sure you put something descriptive in the subject, and I will definitely see it. What's my favorite coffee brand, by the way? So far, I love Sumatran coffee, anything Ethiopian coffee, Somalian coffee, just something about that area of Africa that, to me, I just like the earthiness of the coffee that they produce. Not a specific brand from there, but the region. Like some people, talk about Maui. Like, I'm not big into Hawaiian coffee for some reason. It doesn't do anything for me. I find it a little too mild. But that region of Africa I love, and I also love Illy's and Lavazzo and Javalier. Those would be my deal. Yeah, Tom, I feel you. I'm getting hammered with them too. Like I said, they took away they took away my ad control console. I used to be able to tell them top of the hour, top and bottom of the hour, like every 30 minutes, which I thought was a fair trade. And I see them getting just absolutely hammered over here. But I cannot do anything about it. It's either I don't put ads at all, which, it's kind of rough, It hasn't been, all that great lately, so, the ad money helps out a little bit. So, I don't know. They gotta find a compromise, because they can't keep doing this. I think it turns too many people off. There's only 128 people here, and I'm on the strip, so I think it might be the ads. I don't know. Do I have a coffee grinder? Absolutely, I do. Let's see. Angie has awesome questions. What am I really good at, but kind of embarrassed that you are good at? I don't get embarrassed too much about anything in the grand scheme of things, because, like, I do believe in the man card to a certain degree, but, from years of photography, all right, let me put it this way. From years of photography, and predominantly, most of my clients and or subjects thereof have been female. You can take me shopping, and I'll know what looks good on you. I'll know what colors you should wear. I know what styles you should wear. I can do your hair. I can do your makeup, because it was just part of the thing. I had to touch up makeup all the time. I had to touch up hair all the time. I had to, do stuff like that. I had to pick out wardrobe. When I was doing boudoir shoots, I would get paid extra to go shopping before. I would charge them a few $100, up to $1,000, and just be a personal shopper for, like, 4, 6, 8 hours, you know, and pick out a wardrobe that look good on them, because some people don't know what they look good in, believe it or not. They think they do, or they're not surrounded by people who are honest with them, like the whole, oh, does this dress make my ass look fat? And everyone's like, no, no, it doesn't. You know, I'm the guy that'd be like, you know, honestly, it makes your ass look fat. You know, this is the cut you should be using. Yeah, pencil skirts are not for you, but if it's like this, it'll look freaking awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's me, because I was paid to do it. I don't want you to look bad in my pictures, but I'm a guy who you could do that with. And I also love shopping. I freaking love going shopping. Unlike some guys, you know, given a choice between football on Sundays and, you know, going shopping when you actually have money to shop, not window shopping, I'm taking shopping all day long, you know? I'd rather go and, you know, like update my wardrobe or, you know, buy new belts or, like, I bought so much new clothes when the seasons change that I haven't even worn yet, you know? I can't wait to wear that stuff. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if that'd be embarrassing or not, but probably something people don't know about me. You know, given a choice between sports and going shopping, I'm going shopping, you know? And if chicks want to hang out with me and go shopping, I'm doing it. Kona coffee is strong? I don't know. Did I ever try from the land? No, I have not. I have not. Huh, I gotta try those. Kona, one of my neighbors gave me some Kona coffee, and I found it, maybe it is strong, but it's not earthy enough. You know, sometimes I could swap strong with earthy. I like earthy. Strong can be relative, but I like very, very earthy coffees. Chrissy says, I have a question. What is your opinion on gated communities in Las Vegas? I have opinions about them, but I have to go cook dinner and watch the stream later. All right, cool. Fair enough, fair enough. Most of them are bullshit. You know, just to cut to the chase. Most gated communities, unless it's like 2 or 3 gated communities in this entire town that are true gated communities, you know, with a guard booth and this and that you would feel secure in, like where I'm at, the only way you're getting in is with a freaking helicopter. You know, you gotta rappel down from a helicopter if you want to come near me, and I like it. Other than that, I think, like most of the gated communities in Las Vegas leave the gates open all the time. You know, and people give out the code to their friends, and people are coming and going like it's absolutely meaningless, and you're paying extra for that. So I think they should tighten up the security in most gated communities. I don't think most of them give you the value. Homeowners association fees here in Vegas are freaking ridiculous. You would have a cow if you knew what I paid. You know, I pay quite a bit of money, you know, for my homeowners association, and they don't do shit. You know, all they do is bust my balls. Like if I put out a bird feeder, like all them old biddies are coming at me in the golf cart like, hey, Bror Fredrik, you know, that's a safety hazard having that bird feeder. It's going to attract rodents. And I'm like, the only rodents I see are you 3, you know? Get off my property. But then they'll send me like a 72-hour cease and desist, you know? And I got to fight about bird feeders. So yeah, they are like a-holes in here. Because most people who get involved in homeowners associations, it's like the only taste of power that they've ever had in their entire life. And they just get off on it, you know? So it's political, and I mean, just watching that old episode of Seinfeld, you know? But yeah, I'm a fan, but I think they should be run better. But, you know, they should have a revolving code. They should be able to buzz the door, just not have a thing like, you know, because people give out the code, you know? Like, it's just not cool. You should be able to buzz in, and if the person does not answer the buzzer, which should go to their cell phone, then you ain't getting in. You know, that's a true gated community. But the ones here are just like bullshit. Like someone just said, 1, 2, 3, 4. And all the police and all the fire people all have gate codes. there's like a backdoor gate code for everything. You know, that's because they have to. And that gets out in the wild too. Like some of them are like 8888 or 9999, you know, admin password, you know, it's like, you know, if you're gonna gate something, freaking gate it. You know, don't just gate it at night. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, alright. Let's just say. Yeah, a bunch of Karens. Bunch of Karens. Let's see. You love your gated community? I kind of like mine too. If not, you know, for the fact that they constantly Karen the shit out of me, you know? It's just like, what? You know, sometimes just to piss them off, I see them driving by, I'm just like, Biggie, can't you see? You know, I'm just like, you know, I F with them. I F with them sometimes. What question should be off limits? What travel destination is on my bucket list? How you doing, Christine? I would say I want to go to Bavaria. I want to go to Alpines. I want to go to Bavaria during Christmas. That would totally be a bucket list thing. Oh, I see what we're talking about. Oh, I missed that super chat. I might agree with you there. Maria asks, you said you were divorced. What was the reason? I guess I could answer that. See, I don't mind answering those kind. I mean, I do, but I don't. I'm not gonna get too specific. But let me see. I got divorced a couple times. Let me think which one we're gonna talk about. Let's see. And they were all initiated by me, so I don't F around. I have no play in relationships. I have zero play. So let's just put that out there. Cross boundaries, boom, see ya. I'll just talk about breakups in general. Once I found a letter that was, it was like, it might as well have been from high school, right? Found a letter that was being saved. It was like decade old. I didn't give a shit. I was just like, pack your shit. What? It's like, pack your shit before I do. You know, that's just me. That's just me. You know, I know what kind of person I am. I know what I bring to the table. I set the boundaries before, you know, things even start getting serious. And I'm just like, why are you bringing some dude's freaking love letter under my roof? It was in my shit. I was like, you should have purged, you know? So yeah, I've done that, you know? It's just like, see ya. Yeah, just basically like if someone does not want to, I wouldn't say, some people are going to misinterpret this as quote-unquote obey, but I do have parameters and I do have a framework, you know, that I go by. And whatever I ask of another individual, I do myself, you know? So that way they can't say, well, you do that too. And I'd be like, nope. Nope. If I'm going to ask another individual to interact with me in a certain form or fashion, I'm going to expect the same in return. But I will not do it. I will not with every cell of my being, I will endeavor not to break any of my own standards or frame or whatever you talk about it. But if I get into a relationship, I'm basically inviting someone into my frame, you know? So that's the way I've looked at it, and that's the way it's always been. I'm extending an invitation to come into my frame. It's not like, you know, okay, you got two people. You got a frame. That's one person in a frame. It's another person in a frame. Like, very rarely do you create a new frame and then the two people step out of theirs and jump into this one. I think that's like a lot of what women want. Women want men to go into leave their frame and go into their frame and be what they want them to be, or they want to like hop into this new frame, this uncharted territory of we're partners in life. No, we're not. I'm sorry, but no, we're not. I was just fine before I met you, you know? I don't need counsel, advice, and, you know, all this other stuff that makes us a power couple or partners in life. You know, no, we made a decision to be together, but, you know, that doesn't make it, I'm not surrendering, like, I'm not giving you half my business, you know? Not my physical business, but from a perspective of life. You know, I'm not giving up half my shit. You know, I'm not giving up half my life. I don't require a partner. You know, I require a companion. And women tend to get that confused. The difference between, like, women want to be partners because they feel anything less than a man calling them a partner makes them less. And that's a lie society's been pushing down their throats since the 60s, you know? But it's not partners, it's a companion. You know, you're looking for companionship, I'm looking for companionship. I don't need a friggin' partner. You know, I'm a grown-ass man, fully capable of making my own decisions. You know, 90+% of them are frickin' on point, you know? So I don't need a partner, because that's going backwards. Now I gotta ask you, I gotta run shit by you, you know, that I've been doing my entire life. I don't need a partner. We're not a power couple, you know? I'm doing just fine. I'm extending I'm extending an invitation for you to join me in my frame. And if you know, and you need to understand that it's you know, I'm extending that invitation. So you can be a companion with me in my frame or not. You know, it's just that simple. But we're not going to do this, you know, this partnership thing, you know, because I understand why women feel that way, that, you know, it's inequality if we're not partners. But it doesn't, being a companion doesn't make it any less important, you know? Like, we need to be partners? Like, what do you mean? Like, we gotta talk about everything? You know, we gotta talk about what color I wanna paint my office? We gotta talk about what? What are we partners in? I gotta talk to you about business? Like, I don't even discuss, and I never have and I never will, discuss business with anyone who's my companion. I just won't. You know, because it just taints the relationship. Why should I burden down my companion with the dragons that I have to slay? You know, that way they could partner with me and what? You know, I'm not your girlfriend. You know, women want to treat men like like girlfriends treat each other. Tell you the problems, sit back and listen. Men, trust me, don't go down that road. Don't talk about your problems with your significant other, your companions. Don't talk about the shitty day you had. Just frickin' shrug that shit off and just man the F up and deal with it, you know? Be the best. Don't come home and sour, you know, the whole thing with telling about, you know, that's feminine energy. Oh, well, I was at work and Bob did this and, you know, he stole my thermos and screw all that crap, you know? Women don't want to hear that, and she's not gonna, if you can't figure shit out for yourself. Now, sometimes, you know, it is good to have a second opinion on things. It is, you know, like if you're trying to figure out some deep decision, should my business and the business down the block merge? You know, things like, you might want other opinions, but you should already be surrounded by other people of value that can provide that information. If you got to go to your partner for it, you know, it's like, okay, I'm going to do this, that, and the other thing, but in order to do it, I'm going to have to move. We're going to have to move. So what do you think about that? No, my approach would be like, I'm going to be doing this, this, and that, and we have to move in order to make it all happen. You know, I'm not going to ask permission, you know? You know, and not everyone could wear the pants, you know? I'm not going to ask permission, you know? And I'm just not, because I'm a strong, independent man. I need to ask permission. See, that's where being a good woman and a companion comes in. They just say, all right, I trust you. You have an established history of making wise decisions. You've never steered me wrong. So whatever we need to do, I'm by your side. That's a good woman. That's a good woman. You know, don't screw with a woman who's that good. You know, earn that if you have that. That's a woman. But if it's like, but I don't know, do you think it's smart? If you were single, you wouldn't have to put up with that shit. You would just go and do it, you know? Because it's your frame. I don't know. So yeah, basically anytime I've not, you know, a relationship has not worked out, it's been a crossing of my boundaries, which I lay on the table immediately. I mean, I like day one. We ain't doing this, we ain't doing that, we ain't doing this, we ain't doing that, we ain't doing this. And I ain't tolerating this, I ain't tolerating that, I ain't tolerating this, I ain't tolerating that. And you know what I'm bringing to the table. You know? And, you know, is what it is. And unfortunately, I'm a man of my word, you know? I'm not like a dick about it, but I'll be like, hey, listen, remember I told you that, you know, X, Y, and Z doesn't fly? Yeah, I do. Well, it ain't flying. So now you put me in a position where we need to talk about it. And if you're not on board with it anymore, I understand. You know, but you can't have both, you know? And that's that. Pretty simple. Pretty friggin' simple. Alright, let me see if I missed anything else. Let's celebrate their 5th. What is that? It's telling me to celebrate. Oh, you know what I just got a message saying? It says, Marty, this was your 5th super chat during a live stream. A big 5 just popped up. Look at that. That's funny. So thank you for that. That is awesome. Alright, what else do we need to talk about? I got time. So, you never found a good woman? I found plenty of good women. I found plenty. I mean, don't get it twisted. That's one thing I'm not going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about currents. I'll talk about past. I ain't talking about currents. Because I don't believe in introducing other people into my, into my current personal life. Let's see. Has anyone ever gotten into my face on the strip while you're vlogging, and how do you handle the situation? Yeah, a couple times. Yeah, a couple times it's happened. Not when I'm like individually filming, but live streaming. And, you know, it depends the energy. I mean, I was almost robbed by a bunch of kids, which was unfortunate. So that would have been a shitty situation. You know, like to fight a bunch of freaking 15-year-olds, but there was like 10 of them. You know, that was kind of weird because that's a no-win situation. Fighting with homeless, no win. Fighting with drunks, no win situation. You know, so I tried to avoid it as much as possible. Yeah, I don't kiss and tell. Yeah, I mean, I handle it. I just try to give off the energy that's like, I don't think you want to F with me right now, you know? Either that or I'll just be, relatively cordial about it. You know, there's been some times, like once some guy who was a street pharmacist wanted to get like all knuckle sandwichy about it. And, you know, I de-escalated it by talking to him and whatnot, because if he was a street pharmacist, most likely he was, you know, he had the heat, and that would have sucked. I don't need any additional holes in me at that point. It just depends on the situation. Angela G with the 2 Bananamas. There's plenty of good women in this world. I mean, if we're going to talk about women, there's tons of good women. I know tons of good women. But, women are different these days. See, but women are different, but men are expected to be the same, which is something I always bring up too, the double standard of that, men are still supposed to be traditional and women are not, which is that's just weird. I don't play that. If a woman's gonna want to hold me accountable for being a traditional man, and that's where my value lies, in being a protector, a provider, and all those type of things, good counsel, great in bed, all those type of things a man should be and have, then I expect the same. Why should I not expect the same, Why should not I expect you to legitimately wear a white dress, You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to expect a traditional woman. I'm demanding that way, But like I said, I've found tons of good women. Man, know tons of good women. Been with tons of good women. But society is an odd thing, Miss Google. How you doing, Miss Google? Do you like reading books, and what am I reading now? I love reading books. I absolutely love reading books. Venus, I'm reading that book that I was flashing around the other day, The Living Wisdom of the Tao. And I just found another translation, because there's so many of them, of Sun Tzu, The Art of War. And everyone thinks that is, it's war, but it's business, and it's life, and it's relationships, and it's wisdom. And the other book that I just finished reading not too long ago it's called Make It So, The Leadership Principles of Star Trek, The Next Generation. And I was just like, because I'm a Star Trek fan anyway, but I'm not like a fanatic where it's like, oh my God, thus saith Jean-Luc Picard. I just thought it was interesting, and I saw it at Barnes & Noble's on the discount rack for like $4, and I'm just like, how can I go wrong? But it was a good book. The leadership principle is called Make It So, The Leadership Principles of Star Trek, The Next Generation. So I like doing that. You purchased one of the Art of Wars? All right, that's cool. The Art of Wars, there's so many different ones. The one that I put up there is a good one. And then another book I want to reread pretty soon, which is I think I have that link in the description below, is The Leadership Principles of Attila the Hun. That's a freaking awesome book. What are my thoughts on... I gotta be really careful with this. Great Day Mom says, what are my thoughts on Real Is? Read the comment to know what I'm talking about. I can't say that word, unfortunately. Instant demonetization. Okay. Alright, I'm trying to think how to put this together. Let's see. There is no way in the frickin' world that they didn't know that was coming. No way. No way on the planet, because they have the best intelligence service on the frickin' planet. So there is no way they did not know that was happening. No way. Now, is it messed up? Oh, it's nuts. Baby, what? Babies? Okay, but I do have this underlying current that says perhaps they might have allowed it to happen because there was no way in the world that they did not know it was going to. There's no way. So why would they allow that to happen? See, I always have to think a little deeper. Why would they allow that to happen? Well, maybe so that they can gain more control over their populace, because they enjoy a lot of... I can't talk about it. They enjoy a lot of freeness in that country. Maybe they need to get a handle on that. So nothing like a good... Because, okay, people will always trade since the beginning of time. Thomas Jefferson said it. Everyone said it. Genghis Khan said it. People will always trade their freedom for safety. Did they let it happen? I just don't... I cannot conceive a world where they did not know. Are they using it as an excuse to get rid of that specific area that's been a thorn in their side forever? Did they say, hey, we know this is coming, but it'll give us the push we need to deal with that? Maybe. I don't know. That's all speculation. All I know is, like I said, I can't get into it here. I mean, it's probably already a little too deep, but there's no way they did not know. That does not excuse the people who start with an H, because the things that they did are hideous. Hideous. And if anyone's coming out and supporting that, which many people have, and calling them, FFs, free, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's, women and children, babies, that's some demonic shit right there. But at the same time, I will also have to call the other side and say, no way in the world did they not know that's happening. But like I said, I really can't talk about it here. That's why you should join Rumble. Because when I get to 150 people on Rumble, I'm at 137, we can have conversations like this, on Rumble. But we can't here. All right. Let me see. Yes, Janet, indeed. Like I said, there's no way in the world. Alright, let me fire back up the chat again. Yeah, it should be fairly easy. You know how much money I made off of Rumble? I was checking the stats today. I made 6 cents. I've been up there like, how many months? I made 6 cents off of Rumble. They were just like, sorry, we can't pay until you get to $100. I was just like, okay. But they were like, congratulations. They were like, I made like 2 cents one day, 2 cents another day, and 2 cents some other day. I don't know. I don't even know how they monetize. They don't put commercials on it. And I'm not looking for money. I just want to be able to talk. I want to have the freedom of peaches over there. Because you can't say the other thing. I mean, so we got to play games, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, now I can retire like 5 minutes early. 6 cents. Yeah, I mean, high 61. I mean, just logically, there's no way they did not know. So why did they allow it? That doesn't get the people with the H off the hook, because that's straight from the bowels of frickin' hell, but, then I got paranoid. What are you guys talking about? They did not run radio. They did not have it was just in the bargain bin at Barnes & Noble over on like Charleston, all the freaking way down there. Like I love bookstores, go sit, have coffee, hang out. But they have like one of them bargain bin things over there. And I just saw it, I saw the Enterprise D on there. I was like, oh, what's this? But I didn't see anything about Cisco. Cisco, if he had a leadership book, I would read that. If someone compiled the knowledge, maybe you should. Maybe you should do that, because it's just some dude. It wasn't like, it wasn't official or anything. Compile all the leadership principles of Benjamin Sisko. That would be awesome. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, what else we got going on? Thank you, Sheepshead Mary. And shout out, Bay. I look very handsome there. Thank you very much. You made my day. But again, bro, enough said. Yeah, I like having I don't mind if you ask me personal questions, because I'm going to give you personal answers, It just, my only principle is I will never involve anyone who I might or might not be with, or I'll never involve my family into the public life of YT. I mean, I see people do that all the time, but if you knew half the shit that you deal with when you're I'm not even a public figure, I'm just some dude with a freaking gimbal, And I'm not a public figure per se. If you knew half the shit that was involved in being public, I mean, people are straight up freaking nuts, and I would never want to expose anyone in my life to that. That's the only place I draw the line. And I see people do that all the time, like husbands and wives, and it's like, that's, to me, that's kind of dangerous, I mean, I wouldn't want someone going after, someone else in my life to try to get to me. And after, I don't mean, like that, but just after, emotionally, even spiritually. Because there's such thing as, like when we talk about sending energy and tossing up some blessings, it can come from down there too, That's why you don't get close to the vest. You don't give out all your stuff, because the people will be out there like, just wishing and maybe pentagramming your demise. So you don't want that demonic, anti-spiritual energy in your life, And I wouldn't want someone to go through someone else to try to piss me off, because then you're going to see the worst of me. And I don't want anyone to see the worst of me. You don't want to see the worst of me. You mess with my family, my friends, anyone I happen to be with or whatever, it's going to bring out a side that you will regret ever freaking pushing that button. So that's the only thing I won't talk about. Everything else, I'm gonna shit. And especially something from the past. Yeah, we got stalkers and weirdos out there. I mentioned I have all classics. You mentioned I had a sister. When was the last time you spent time? My sister she passed away. Do I know how to fold a fitted sheet? Absolutely. I love folding. I hate folding clothes, but I'm really good at it. I hate ironing, but I'm really good at it. Let's see. Yeah, my sister. I guess I should talk. I guess I gotta talk about her. My sister was. I don't know if I can talk about it. See, freaking YT. No, all classics. We're all good. I'm just trying to figure out a way to. I just got to figure out a way to. Let's see. September, the day that was on September, and it wasn't the 10th and it wasn't the 12th, because you can't say she was. Yeah, not immediately, but a little later on, because of September, not the 10th and not the 12th, the day in between. So it's been a long time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? All right, you got that? All right, cool. Because I'm not allowed to talk about that. That freaks me the actual F out. That he can't even talk about, like, reality, you know, like history, shit that actually happened, because, you know, it doesn't fit the narrative. Saying it doesn't fit the narrative probably get me in enough trouble as it is. Anyway, yeah, so it's been a long time. Yeah, basically, everything from here down was gone, so there wasn't much hospice, you know, that type of stuff, like straight into hospice. My sister was a lawyer. Go figure. She was a lawyer. I would have made a good lawyer. If I went to college, what would I have been? If I went to college, I probably would have been a lawyer. Because I got the gift of gab. I'm pretty freaking persuasive. Like, but I would have been, like, I'm still watching that show, Suits. Even though it's a farce and it's all made up and nobody's really like that, yeah, I'd be in that vein, you know. I'd be in like the Harvey. I'd be a combination of Harvey and what's his name? Stuart Litt, I think his name is, or whatever, and Jessica the Boss Babe. You know, she's like a boss babe. I'd be like a combination of them, you know. Or I'd be like the pit bull lawyer, you know. Yeah, I think I probably would have made an extraordinarily good lawyer. Yeah, that would have been my deal. Well, I appreciate the condolences and everything. Yeah. I don't think I'd be like I like I said, if you watch that show Suits, I'm like on season 3, episode 3. It's cool and it's deep. Yeah, like corporate law, that would be my shit, you know, like all the negotiating and the bobbing and weaving, not like Glenn Lerner and Rowe is the place to go, call 9 you know, because someone scratched your car. It wouldn't be one of those. That didn't intrigue me, but yeah, the high power lawyering thing, yeah. Mr. Cashman, I wish I could. I mean, that's why people need to follow me on Rumble so I could actually talk about stuff like that, because that is a taboo subject. Okay. I will say, Click, has someone ever caught me dancing in front of the mirror? I don't think so. Perhaps a weird selfie once. Anyway, what are my films? That's a subject that YT will not let me talk about, but if we're going to talk about BUSH, not good. Even though, you know, I lean towards, I mean, I'm not left, I'm not right. You might interpret me as right, but I'm more, I'm a constitutionalist. I believe, like, you know, we should actually follow the Constitution. And I believe in traditional values. So I don't care if it's the left or the right that is doing that. I will agree, you know. So I'm not like, you know, staunch, like, you know, because I'm into traditional values and I believe the Constitution is the law of the land. That BUSH guy, yeah, not a fan. Even though, you know, I mean, he was, you know, more aligned with, not a fan. There's a lot of stuff right there. There's a lot of stuff to unpack if we double click on that. Doggy Dog Elder, yeah, you know, I don't mind. I'll answer the questions. Do I sing to music in the car? Absolutely. all the time. All the time. I seat dance. I seat dance, I sing in the car. Yeah, I have fun in my car, but I pay attention. But we will talk about that music I heard the other day. I appreciate everyone. Yeah, Better Call Saul. He's a badass. I appreciate everyone who sending condolences. Put heartburn in the stomach of big caffeine. That's cool. What do you guys talk about? Arliss. I kind of remember Arliss. I sort of remember that. Arliss. I think that's old. Didn't it have the guy from Entourage in it or something? He played the agent in Entourage or whatever. Have I ever been to Santa Fe? Yes, I have been to Santa Fe. Absolutely have been to Santa Fe, been to Albuquerque and a couple places in between. I'm not a huge fan, but it was alright. Watching Ballers at the moment. I used to like Entourage. I thought Entourage was good. It got a little off, went a little off the rails after a while. Dun, 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 dun. I'm trying to read everything else here. Yeah, I know. But most of them get... at this stage of my YouTube development, I cannot afford to have things demonetized. If people actually knew what I make doing this, I think you guys would be like, what are you, nuts, Bror Fredrik? Because it's really not a lot. I do this more for the, the love and the companionship. And of course I wanted to, explode one day. But, I just can't afford, like, hey, Bror Fredrik, go downtown. That's instant. Bror Fredrik makes zero to do that, and to go leave your house to go make zero and spend 4 hours of your life kind of blows, someone asks, hey, why don't you take us up to, top of the Eiffel Tower one day? It would actually cost me money to bring that to you because it just is what it is, So I just can't do that. So I can't talk about, like, channels that have the nerve to talk about stuff like that. I applaud them. And yeah, okay, to get deplatformed completely, like RB, because you're not allowed to say his name. If I had 6 million viewers and I had something to sell once in a while, and 6 million viewers, if 1% of them was on Patreon, I wouldn't give a crap. I would say anything until they deplatform me. But at this stage, when I go home and I find out, or after a live stream and I find out it was demonetized, I'm just like, oh, I just made $8 for 3 hours? Cool, So it kind of blows sometimes, not being able to speak my mind. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, Venus, you sing in the car too? That's awesome. I enjoy it. I don't consider myself to have a good voice per se, but I don't care because the only person listening is my car. Because your car listens to you and whatnot. You keep seeing more bra commercials too? That's crazy. Watching The Godfather of Harlem. I should watch that. What time is it? 5:40? Wow, it's 5:40 already? Holy cow, I've been talking for 2 hours straight. Let me see if I missed any super chat activities. I still gotta go pay for this Americana over here. Let me see if I missed any fan funding. Nope, I think I got everyone. Marty, 10 banana runners. Steve with the 5. Tom Mack with the 5. Maria with the 5, and Angela G with the 2 banana ramas. Thank you very much. That should cover my parking today. And let me get back over here. Okay, so Yeah, singing in the car is awesome. I sing in the shower. I think I sound awesome in the shower. Did you ever record yourself, you know? But I don't know, I enjoy it. I'm going to turn this around real quick. We'll go for a walk. I'll take you over there because I got to go pay for this other coffee. I got to bring it back anyway. So big shout out to True Bar. If you're watching, I hope you're getting shit together. Open this place back up. And big shout out to True Kitchen for allowing me to chill the F out whenever the F I want. And you guys are awesome and I love you, so come visit them. But I'm not done yet because I'm going to go pay for this. We'll do coffee can, get over there. I got to walk back through the place. You might as well come with me. But I am going to turn this around. Bonk. And that was a fun Ask Me Anything. You know, I think you guys by now, I think some of you are afraid to ask me certain things, you know? Which obviously, you know, I don't shy away from it, but, you know, I've given you my reasoning why I might not want to answer certain things because, you know, but other than that, I'm good. I don't mind telling you about personal stuff. Who cares? All right, let's do coffee can. Uh-oh. We got to go the other way. Why is everyone dressed up? What is Adele singing again tonight? All the guys are here to see Adele. Coffee can engaged. Wasn't Jelly Roll awesome? Jelly Roll is a boss. I like me some Jelly Roll. I was listening to today. I was like, hey Google, play some music based on the artist Jelly Roll. And they go down all sorts of rabbit holes. Like of gangster country music and stuff. No, that's good. I am amped up. Your coffee is awesome. That was a refill, so I owe you a couple bucks for that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's you again.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate you. I'll see you next week. Alright. Alright, let's get to hoofing and a booking. Good night. She's friendly, I like her. She's got that thing in her nose though. No, not a huge fan of that. Alright, where are we going? Oh, I know where we're going. We're going back yonder. Well, let's go for a walk. Hello, ladies. I'm not getting another Michaels commercial. I hope that they said it was like a test that they were rolling out to allow them to control the ads. I hope that's actually what it is. Because for some reason, they like to use my channel as like if something new gets rolled out, I'm like the first kid on the block to get it. I don't know why, but I am. So hopefully it's a test and they figure out it's ass and do something about it. Because that happens a lot. Sometimes they'll roll something out, it'll stick around for a week, and then it'll kind of settle in. So I hope that is the case. Wow, I'm lagged out on my other phone. Let me catch up a little. There we go. Da-da-da-da. We got 130 supply. Diggy with the 10 banana rounds. Thank you very much. Yeah, I couldn't even imagine. I'll be 100% honest with you parents out there, because I am not a parent. So I'll be honest with that too. Bror Fredrik is not a parent. But I understand. I mean, I don't know. That's probably like the toughest job on earth right now, is to raise your kids in this crazy situation we have going on.
You know, you're fighting for your own kids. Fighting for their well-being, for their education, to pull them away from social media, to undo what the school system is forcing down their throats. Wow, what a battle. To teach them traditional values and such. Holy freaking cow. So I applaud you parents out there. You got a tough job. It's funny how tall people think that, you know, they could just like walk right into you. Like you have to get out of their way. They don't realize like their knees are at the perfect height. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, alright. I know where I'm going. Got spun around for a second. That circular stairs circulated me. Alright, what else are we talking about here? You got 10 ads to 1. So you're getting more ads. That's another thing I'm interested in. You getting more ads on the TV and less on the phone, or vice versa? Yeah, hopefully they do something about it. All right, ladies, Jim says he needs some good parenting. That's funny. And you guys won. I mean, I'll delve deeper into relationship time. I mean, I don't want to make a whole channel about it, like all those like red pill channels and whatnot. I don't want to make an entire channel just based on relationship stuff. But it's something I enjoy talking about. And it is something I believe men need to improve upon. I think men currently are just very bad at relationships. You know? Men, I think men have been taught to lose their, how would I say? To just not take a stand and to not have standards. I think that's what society is telling men now. You know, just accept. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Happy wife, happy life. No. It's just not supposed to be like that. And if it becomes like that, you have to have the courage to just say, no, I don't find this acceptable. And deal with it. And if we... I just found an earring, but it was phony gold. Phony AF. So I put it back down. Let the next sucker pick it up. Like, if you're not happy with your woman going out like that, right? You gotta say something. Because I would not be happy if I was with someone who wanted to go outdoors like that. I mean, if I say, hey, hon, put on something like really freaking hot because I want to spin you around town a little bit, you know? And, you know, edify myself a bit in the process, cool. But if she wants to do that by herself, we're going to have a talk about it. And if you're like cringing and you're afraid to tell your woman, you know, not to go out with, you know, with the CT, with the C-toe showing, then that's on you, you know? Deal with it. You know, man the F up and deal with it. And if you don't find it acceptable and she can't handle it, find someone who will. You know, step into your frame. And then put her back where you found her. But men are just like, I don't know. Men aren't being manly anymore. Women do not feel lucky to have a man anymore because men are becoming less deserving of a woman feeling lucky to have them, to be honest. So I'll call it in both directions. As much as I say things that women need to improve, you know, guys aren't really stepping up either. There's an art to being a man. Unfortunately, it's a lost art. Read the book by Frank Sinatra, How to Wear Your Hat. You know, that's an awesome book. But again, lost art. Oh, isn't that dude from Yellowstone? That's him, right? Rip? Isn't that Rip? Oh, let's check this out. Cool, 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 cool. Skull, death, no. More ads on the phone. Yeah, I get some stuff, right? I mean, some stuff I have strong opinions about, but, you know, I can't 100% back it up, but most would have to say I'm right. And I have a lot of experience. Experience is a good teacher. Blah. Where are we gonna go? Let's see. Oh, I think we'll go to our regular spot. What time is it? 5:52? Oh, we're good. Do gotta go see a man about a horse. Like if your woman says, "Hey, does this dress make my butt look big?" If it does, say yes. And deal with it. And deal with it. And just deal with it. Don't be an asshole about it, but deal with it. You know? That's all I'm saying. Alright, there we go. Oh, absolutely. You can say hello too, though. Hi. I see it. Oh, world sees it now. What up? What did you think? If you like big butts, and just freaking be like, yeah, it looks freaking awesome, baby, you know? You know what I'm saying. Just, you're not doing yourself or your partner a favor by biting your tongue. And if it ultimately ends up costing you the relationship, better that than to suffer in silence. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, that horse. Damn. Saskatchewanita? What is that? What did I miss? By the time you're married, you should be way past that. Yeah, but in certain terms, though, you don't really know someone until you live with them. You know, whether you're living or married with them, you can't really say, does anyone really know anyone? You know, does anyone really know you? No. Does anyone really know anyone? Like what we really are inside our heads, what we really think about ourselves, what we're really like when no one's watching. Like, you're alone, you know, no one's around for miles, everyone's away for, people don't know that side of you, you know? And if you have integrity, you do the right thing when no one else is looking. Correct? That is what my definition of integrity is. However, no one knows who you are when you're alone, and you don't really know someone else until you're living under the same roof with them. So I'm not like saying, go out and cohabit. You do you, married, cohabitate, whatever. But you never really know someone until you live with them. I mean, that's the bottom line. You might get along great, get married, and find out you want to freaking kill each other because you just, you're finding out things that, you're unhappy with. But that's why you get all the cards on the table day one. On the first freaking date, Like, I'm the guy to be like, hey, you got a picture with no makeup? Why not? And just get that out of the way, Hey, do you wear tights, or the tights, leotards, yoga pants, whatever? Do you wear those shits out in public? Oh yeah, they're so comfortable. Check, please. Get all that shit out of the way up front and give yourself the best opportunity to have a happy relationship. Because not saying that person is bad, or you're bad, or they're bad, or whatever.
it's a compatibility issue. You want to be with someone, sometimes regardless of looks, that's as the most compatible that you can. That's the best foundation you could have for moving forward. Not saying that that woman who wears yoga pants or whatever is bad, because some guys will be like, I cannot be with a woman who doesn't wear yoga pants. I don't care who looks, I don't care who sees. That's just, I want to wear them shits 24/7. That's just not me. If that's him, then that's a perfect couple. Hook up, have 50 kids, live long and prosper, you know? But it's just not in my frame, as we spoke about in frames, you know? Because, you know, it just is what it is. So it doesn't make people bad or good, but how you doing? You want to give a relationship the opportunity, you know, the best foot forward by finding someone that you're the most compatible with. Because if you spend an entire relationship agreeing to disagree, even if you stay till the day you die, it's not going to be happy. You're going to be freaking miserable, you know? You want to be miserable? Agreeing to disagree? Well, you know, you think the sky's blue, I think it's aqua. You know, you think yoga pants suck, and I think they're cool, and I'll just wear them behind your back. You're just setting yourself up for being miserable, you know? Better off you be alone and not torture another human being. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you're going to do. You'll get so resentful, you'll end up torturing another human being, and they don't deserve it, because they deserve to be happy too. Let them find someone who, you know, whose frame they actually fit. You know, that's just an honest life. But anyway, that's more conversation. But I got a jet. I got some things to do. I got to go check on the Penguins cap score to see if I'm +2, which is right. And tomorrow night we're going out on the strip, probably about 6 o'clock, maybe till about 9 or so, until my battery dies. I'm going to go have some fun. We're going to go have some fun tomorrow night, and I look forward to it. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell button to get notified when I do this again, which is at least 5 times a week. And if you want a sports channel, you know how to do that. I got all the links, I got all the stuff. So I thank you for the super chatters today. Thanks for keeping company and the wonderful questions. Can't wait for next Friday. And let me know whether you like doing it out here in the studio. I think either way is fun. But I am lit up like a Christmas tree from those Americanos, tell you what. And on that note, Bror Fredrik out.